face the Trailblazers. Toronto with just 3 remaining home games this season.
The start for Chauncey Billups. This is only rolls. And we are all set for the Raptors.
How about a few of them?
How about Shed, the ball pressure. And the kick out. Here's Sharp with the clock down. And Portland coming off of a victory as Sharp knocks that down. City and the Bulls took care of business. Playing good basketball. Chicago.
As is Miami on a tear right now.
They are.
Things are pretty interesting there. 7 through 10 in the East.
Scotty B fading and the shot doesn't go.
Orlando, Atlanta, right? Miami and Chicago.
And Miami just knocking off Boston.
Yep.
Here's Avdia over to Banton. Banton on the move. Again, pressure on the defense. Here's Sharp. Back to Banton. Clock down once again. Tremendous on-ball defense and an air ball. And it's going to be a shot clock violation. No! Avdia scoops it up and lays it in.
Great presence of mind at time to make it done to beat the clock.
Raptors eliminated from playoff contention with that loss. Portland still has life. RJ denied, scooped up by Walter. Walter in traffic. Close out in the corner. Avdia kicks it back to Kamara. Lines up the 3 that doesn't go. It's 2 and 7. Probably speaking to that young team that they have. Kamara with the offhand and a good job using the right.
Good job, explosive move and getting that second shot opportunity, really paying dividends for them.
Jack, all 5 of those losses by 10+ points. Here's Robinson. Good fun. Avdia finds Sharp. He's coming off of a sharp performance. He had 33 points. The long 2 is good. His J has really improved.
And that's that shot consistently. People got to crowd him now, and he is tough to keep in front of.
They get a switch. Barnes likes it and knocks it down. Raptors down by 2. Avdia in the corner. Kamara, the 3, pops out, clinging. He is hard to deal with on the inside. 7-2.
And he's a terrific screener as well.
Avdia, shot doesn't go. Donovan Clingan has it denied in Portland. Open up the game with the 3-pointer, and then he had that.
Championship, obviously, UConn Husky in the NBA.
Has 98 blocks. Presence on the inside. Barrett finds Shed the open 3, and that's good. That's a good sign. Shed's been struggling of late shooting the basketball. Double figures in 5 of his last 7 games. He's reached his career high 2 times, 17 against Charlotte and 17 against San Antonio over the last 10. 7:50 to go. Ball pressure to the max. Here's Sharp. 3 no. Robinson has it knocked away by Clingan. And there's Avdia no. And what a great job of recovery by RJ Barrett to take it away from Banton. In the corner, wide open. Walter got it.
The other night in Chicago, and now look at a steal by Shed, Matty D.
Shed unable to finish. RJ there to Clingan.
Well, 2 rookies, right? Walter makes a 3, and then Shed with the big steal at half court.
8-0 run, and the Raptors grab the lead by 4. Banton lines up a 3. And Avdia has it knocked away. Portland comes down with it. And the travel is...
Their performance and their consistency, they're better players at home than on the road. So that's even more impressive to being able to do that.
Ochai Agbaji checks in for Scotty B. And Portland with a rebound. Since the All-Star break, we have 2 of the top 3 rebounding teams in the NBA. As Jason, and already with 8 offensive rebounds, the Blazers taken away by Agbaji. RJ
advantage of it. And that really has helped them a great deal. Get easier shot opportunities.
10-0 run by Toronto, and Avdia with the reverse layup.
And he's got burst. Tell you what, getting downhill, a little blow by.
He has been sensational since March 1st, putting together his best month, and then he kicks it off in April with that 30-point triple-double. It's the Toronto Raptors playing in his 10th game. Been out due to injury, and there's a good pickup by the Trailblazers as that left is good on the interior.
Tough shot by Mobo that time. A lot of contact on the finish and right through it. 5-second violation by
Birtle. Here's Abaji with a three. Count it.
39% overall.
Thibault looking for Kamara. RJ. What a great job by Barrett that time, disrupting the flow. And Kamara stays with it. Mobo on it.
Chance here again. Made shot right here. Three-pointer. Yeah, beautiful.
Avdia in the month of March scored 30-plus, Jack, 5 times. Put up 36 against the Denver Nuggets. And then 32 points, 15 rebounds, 10 dimes with 2 steals against the Hawks. 6-point game, and Avdia with the steal. Avdia on the move, and the fight up.
He sure can.
He is a high flyer, Jack. A.J. Lawson, 4-point game, along with a Mobo Swider battle in Abaji. Here's A.J. the three. Out this court. How great is this court? This could be an all-timer, Jack.
I love the purple and the big Raptor.
Dinosaur.
Half court
with the Vince movement. Didn't know a dinosaur could do that. Battle with the takeaway. 6 turnover. Mobo back to AJ, and it doesn't go. Short. 6 turnovers leading to 9 points. Here's Sharp once again. Look at that burst.
Look at that. You're right about that, Matt.
He's got 8 of his team's 19. Mobo cut off, tries to go over taller big if he's going to be in those sort of matchups.
Mentioned it the other night. He's kind of in between positions.
Bring it back bigger and better than ever.
And the eyes that are on
this year, Jamal Murray probably played the greatest all-Canadian game we've ever seen. Obviously an NBA champion, but most importantly, giving young Canadians something to aspire to. Get them off the screens, get them in the gyms and on the fields. That's what it's all about.
Absolutely, and it comes to your local gym, which is my favorite part of this. Thank you so much for bringing this back and for also pouring into the Canadian basketball at a grassroots level.
Thank you, Caleb.
Matt?
Love it. Absolutely love it. 22 Canadians are in the NBA, including Shaedon Sharp, and that list will just continue to grow, and there's nothing like seeing them when they're in high school right before they head off to the NCAAs, and then on, hopefully, like A.J. Lawson, to the NBA. And that bucket is good.
Mobo having a nice night tonight for the Raptors. 6 points in 4 minutes. All little bunnies around the bucket.
After tonight, only 2 home games remain. Tomorrow night against Detroit and next Wednesday against Charlotte. Avdia, tough shot. Even Scotty went down.
Impressive. Stroking it.
Mobo to battle. The flyby, the closeout, doesn't matter.
8% from behind the arc. And lots of them.
Raptors shot it well the other night from 3 in Chicago tonight, Jack. Starting off 5 of 8. Mobo, battle in the corner. Reef was guarding him. Avdia comes away with it. Chris Murray, the Iowa product, has it nearly taken.
And he knows how to get people off their feet. Beautiful pass by Mobo, though.
Scotty pulls up, jumper doesn't go, and Sharp with it. Here's Sharp with a 3 ball. His 3 ball too, Jack.
Here we go.
But the stroke looks good, doesn't
Sure
it?
it does. And he gets off his feet, doesn't he? He elevates on the Jimmy.
Scotty B. Here's A.J. Lawson going end line. And knocked away, gets it back. There's still time on the clock. Swider to Mobo. Mobo's got to do it. And a shot clock violation. Here in double digits, but that's okay because 9 players have scored. So the scoring spread out. That's not the case for Portland. As
9 assists, figuring it out where to get it to and take advantage. Look at Barnes right into him.
And a right underneath it. Banton. Drop Reith gives it back. Delano fading and too strong. Zabaji on a handoff for Battle. Robinson back to Battle.
First turnover.
Minute into the second quarter. Sharp working with Reith with the screen. Here's Murray. Closed out on the attack. And a turnover. That's the 8th turnover. A.J. Lawson. At 13 points in Chicago as he misses the free throw.
Energy level defensively.
You're picking up full court. Creating a lot of havoc.
And making them go deeper in the clock in terms of running their stuff.
Banton getting into the lane.
Opportunities. Consistent minutes are going to ruin the opportunity I get next time. Chauncey really instilled a level of confidence in me that I just go out there and play with every...
Greatest dunks that the Raptors have seen. Where does that rank for you in all the amazing dunks that you had as your...
All over. Appreciate that dunk.
Well, it's for Reed. I mean, that was the other thing, right? It was the player that he was from a defensive standpoint.
No doubt. And, you know, you think about, we had Vince Carter here the night he had his number retired. He won the dunk contest. And for you in your career, you're right up there. You won it as well. What was that experience like for you?
I mean, it was amazing. I think, you know, if Vince doesn't win that in 2000, I don't think I had the inspiration to go out there and have a dunk that really, you know, wowed people. I think that was a dunk that really took it home for me, at least the dunk that people remember when when they talk about the dunk contest. But I mean, shout out to Vince. Man. These jerseys, yeah.
What do you think of that?
You know, in your heart, you
In the old faces, not just some players, but just the staff, all the relationships and friends I've made over the years, and you know, seeing time go by, we all got older, and seeing them still around, it's just such a good feeling. Being back in the city is always going to be a special place for me. I mean, I grew up here. This is some of the best years of my life, and, you know, I love coming back and just getting all the love and just seeing people.
All right, we got to go back as Banton's in the corner for the 3. It's air ball, weak side.
And, I mean, once I started getting hot in the second half, I think they just kept feeding me. And one thing led to another, and then I think that just supreme confidence just took over, and I was just kind of letting the game flow through me, and it just all, you know, accumulated to 51 points.
I remember that being a Saturday night, and this place was absolutely rocking.
Yeah.
And you were feeding off that crowd big time.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, it was energy. I was kind of numb to it too. I was going off, and I'm kind of realizing that, and you know, the crowd's getting into a dunk, and after that, I think the third shot might have been I stole a pass from Gravis Vasquez, and after that point, they were just like, just feed him. He's hot. Give it to him.
I tell you what, this is what's so special when you
come by often, but once it does, it's one of those things that just kind of, you know, is burned into your memory. And I mean, being here in the building also just brings a bunch more memories back. But at the same time, I mean, it's one of those days that, you know, you'll never forget.
Well, this Raptor team, if you look at them, they're in that mode where trying to build and get something back. You were part of that 2014 Raptor team that obviously won the Atlantic Division and played that classic series against, and that's just a little...
Or 6, 7.
7, yeah.
Yeah, so it was amazing. I had such a good time that year. It really taught me a lot about the game, how to be mature, how to grow up as a pro, what to expect. And, you know, from then we started taking steps that, you know, ultimately led this franchise to a championship.
What was it about that group? The trade happens, right, with Rudy Gay. Here comes Patrick Patterson. Here comes Gravis Vasquez. What was it about that? Because one of the things when you look back at that gelled, it almost seemed like naturally just happened.
No, it did. I think once the Rudy trade happened, Kyle and DeMar had they led us in a private team meeting and saying like, hey guys, this is it. We're all we have. We have nothing else we have opportunity to do something. And it was one of those Cinderella moments that you don't really realize how big the moment was until, you know, the playoffs start to roll around and we clinched the playoffs against Boston. And it was such a integral part in my career, because without that, I don't think, you know, that would have helped me grow as a player that I developed into later. Without those moments and those tough seasons with all the adversity and everything we went through, that kind of helped me realize how tough and how long these seasons are, and, you know, how much time you have to improve.
You know, if you could talk to your 19, 20-year-old self, or I'm sure you get opportunities to talk to young players.
The one thing I loved, when I was a student of the game, I asked all the oldest guys questions about their vets, about some of their teammates and some of the things that they went through, because that's how you learn. This is such a league where you have to learn through your teammates and taught through storytelling almost, and you have to learn what it takes to be a pro. And without those questions, you're kind of lost. And I felt like I had a good group of guys that had their heads on straight and then allowed me to go further in my career.
That's a great question, great response. You know, with that, there's a special bond, I think. We go around the league, and Jack and I, you see Kyle, you see DeMar, Amir Johnson, and JV, and just all of the former Raptors, and everyone that you talk to, I mean, they just kind of brighten up and smile about it.
Yeah, you have to. I mean, it's one of those things you have to learn. You have to learn, and it helps all those guys, Amir Johnson, even Andre Bargnani. Like, you can learn something from everybody in this league, the goods and the bads. And for me, I got drafted to a great organization, a great team, and it really helped.
And I'm not saying this like...
And can see both sides of the picture. And example, Scotty. Scotty's a great high-character, you know, player.
Charismatic, yeah.
Very charismatic. Like, he can talk to anybody who lines up the room, and you meet guys like that can bring people together. And, I mean, those are the guys who you start to see players on the team who start to grow because of them.
And it's a value add when you have somebody like a Garrett Temple, who's a true pro that's seen it all in his time in the league. Thibault shot doesn't go. Mobo with a rebound in this one-point game, and a chance for the Raptors to take the lead. RJ on a kick out. Scotty sidestep around Banton. The three doesn't go. And Klingon with the rebound.
How you enjoying retired life? You're doing a little TV in Orlando, right?
Yeah.
Oh, here's AJ! Right to the iron. Like back in the day.
Made the unfortunate choice of having both Jamal and RJ Barrett join us pregame, if you guys remember. And those two, of course, were talking at length about who between Duke and Houston was going to win the matchup that's going down on Saturday. You know, I asked Jamal about just not being a part of that NCAA tournament for long, because he only played 13 minutes. And you can only imagine just where that team would have been if he had stuck it out. He says, listen, I thought about it. I let it go.
Pressure, dead ball, made field goal. They are up into the, and for a guy like Banton, you know, when you're into the ball that hard, sometimes he has a tough time shaking you.
Here's Sharp. Raptors by one. Banton, the three doesn't go. Walter with it.
Tell you what, I'm impressed with Jacoby Walter's on-ball defense. He's really taking it up another notch in terms of the intensity that he's playing with.
Avdia kicks it to Banton. Another open three.
And obviously for Banton, those are shots you got to make.
He's 2 of 10. And Raptors lead by 3 again. You mentioned the defense. Here's Barrett. Barrett working against Sharp.
There's a battle back here.
Portland shooting just 39%. They've turned it over 13 times. They are getting on the glass. They're +7 there.
Well, Klingon's size a big problem.
Here's Sharp over Shed, and Shaedon Sharp is.
What a talent, huh? I mean, he's just explosive.
Mobo the other way, right to the iron. Now 20 for Sharp in a turnover. Avdia launches a three that's short. And first half.
We've had 24 combined turnovers between these two teams. So the game's been played at a pretty fast pace. Back and forth we go. Your transition defense, oh so important tonight. Scrambling, getting the ball under control, and getting the shooters.
Dia shot off the mark. He hasn't scored since the opening quarter. 5 of 10 now from the field. Shed makes a move. Finds a cutting Walter. And then Mobo. No. Great job by Shed getting on the glass. Walter with time. And that shot is short. And Klingon with the rebound. He's got 9.
Well, he had made 6 straight, Walter. That's his first missed 3 of the night.
Sharp with Shed on him.
Made 5 in a row in Chicago.
Great job by Shed.
Look at Walter into the ball. I love it.
Here's Thibault.
Good defense here. Oh, yeah. Shot
clock violation on him. Shed. Shot doesn't go. And a Walker with the rebound gives it to Avdia.
About a 2-second shot clock, game clock differential here.
Be sure to join us next for At the Half, presented by Subway. Avdia up top, guarded by Walter. Avdia. That was all creative.
He's in RJ Barrett, much improved, doing a great job.